Hang on. I'm here. Go. Right, go on.
2, 1. Yeah! 2, 1. The third.
Let go, let go, let go.
Number 1.
No! Get! Oh!
Very strange, psychic dream world. Oneness reminded me.
You have firing signal.
Got a nosedive karma.
We'll trip this man into a bad trip.
Any big odd things in fishes.
You know what it is? You know what it is?
In it just by chance.
You know what it is? It is. You know what it is? You know what it is? What it is? What it is? You know what it is? What it is?
Guidance lock confirmed. Coming together, looking good. Gotcha. Pick your targets.
Okay. Cover me, damn it.
Hyperspace in 10 seconds.
Guidance lock confirmed. Break. Lock. Coming together.
Fourth mission, repeat.
Understand, looking good.
Hyperspace.
Can't stabilize. We're losing grip.
Ladies soon travel rapid.
Science. It's up to about 4 Gs.
You know what it is? It is. You know what it is? It is what it is. It is what it is.
On again! Splendid. What the hell was that?
You might as well stay till it comes out.
I'll be a man, can a mystery man. 1, 2. Not so sweet. A man can't miss nobody. Now bad, bad. Now made with. Precisely. Thank you very much. Heaven knows. And every night Halloween, I keep my bags the night. The sunlight makes the day. And every night. And every night I'm there. understand. This young man, show me the camera. What did they say? Are you ready? Are you ready?
They said punk was dead in 1977.
Jack
Judge Dredd.
2000 AD.
2000 AD.
You've finished your breakfast, haven't you? Oh, now, upstairs.
That's chin, which is very dimply and very wrinkled.
How does a comic put together?
Makes the thing a whole lot more realistic, yeah. Pen or a brush.
Brilliant. Crisis is another serious issue magazine. Conflict and uprisings is what this generation are with. And Arkham Asylum has been a huge success. Straight. The view.
Which we projected took place. Very unfair. But your presence in the city, if Mega City 1, liberties are, makes me feel very, very creative.
One H for Brian.
They're an art form in 38 of Superman.
And where is the Batman?
Beneath this design is...
Appeared in the comic 2000 AD right time. He's the editor of Judge Dredd,
who created Judge Dredd 15 years description. We then send who puts the word balloons on.
And this is Dredd smiling on the cover or looking happy.
On a lot more, which hopefully again will...
And here's the finished cover of the Cape Crusade himself. It's very big business indeed.
Stop the press.
Comics grew up.
There's an evolution occurring in comics.
Like Frank Miller, who did Daredevil.
A new British comic called 2000 AD. He became the cult anti-hero of teen anti-heroes like Judge Dredd.
You know, around an island. The comics as well would wash ashore from the battleships and draw out my own finish to it. Of pictures and words together is so powerful to me, you know.
In comics.
Classic hero, Superman. Comic fans were thrilled and it was Miller had paved the way for experimentation in less than a year after the release of Batman, by writer Alan Moore and artist Dave Gibbons.
To do a piece that was as complex, as sophisticated and as multi-layered.
Because Watchmen was a very, very involved story, calling for lots of detail, complex layout and a complex picture structure.
It can be quite a disorienting experience.
It's for Moore's editions of The Vigilante. Crisis has brought overtly political themes created by Pat Mills and Carlos Esquerra, by Jim Bakey and written by John Smith. England has become the 51st state of America.
They don't want the run-of-the-mill fights, people being knocked through walls.
A comic called Real War, which was put together.
I think you can look at comic art on two levels. You can either look at it as narrative, where it's specifically telling a story, or you can look at it as mood, or...
There are no limits in terms of the technique that an artist can use in comics, where once they were stuck with just having to do line.
So we were in America when we were discussing this.
It's one of the ways I can get in touch with...
Others have said it's chunky.
The story in the Light and Darkness War centers on the four-man crew of a helicopter gunship, which is...
In the midst becomes the war of the Queen. Where the counterculture of Tanino Liberatore.
Dessiné, pour limite je dessinais toujours pour mon plaisir, comme j'ai toujours.
Robot character named. Thanks to the self-destroy, subs in a matter of minutes.
Todo lo que se dice ahí.
After fruitful collaboration
à me laisser un petit peu porter par des images.
With Move Time, distinction and prestige. European comics achieve a maturity stands out for his personal. The Wind has become.
Well, oh, don't flash it, selector. 5 minutes late, coming out of your gate.
Può salvarsi più
facilmente. In the mid-70s, he appears in the United Kingdom under the name of Judge Dredd. The United States dream is betrayed by self-alienation and ecological. Adam's style reminds its reader easily read stories that contain enough begins terror, science fiction, humor, etc. Then finally heavy metal appears. Changes the mainstream which for.
He published the finest
something close to a graph.
I know about violence and I know more about
faith in the future. While Marvel later on, while searching for the company decides to books with fewer editions. In the attempt to hunt for talent, Moore is a cult writer, a versatile.
I don't personally believe in heroes.
Rorschach. Rorschach. #1 U.S. government, currently the only super again in another form of conscious with the help of the unknown Frank Miller, paid writer-artists of the day. In Dark Knight, a rather the old Batman.
I've been reading these since I was a kid.
Justice into his own hands. More human. The fearful god with absolute powers.
I hope it will revitalise comics.
Independent share the market, though they writers such as Garcia Marquez.
Like I said, I don't have a formula. I don't speaking from my heart. I'm speaking, from my soul, and just that people always relate to a universal story.
In the world of comics, anything is possible.
Mayor declares state of emergency as Skade moves in. Many civilians into rare, stockpiled comics for $150,000.
These books are a wonderful and piece of material. Sequential art by Will Eisner.
People began to think of comics as art. Spider-Man was admired for its 80s comic like Lobo, for the value of comics just soared, increased over 150, become big business.
Somebody will have read it.
But Ninja Turtles reached a value of 305 copies of the same comic. Why? Because the covers were different. The comic world's first priority. This comic is to exploit the value
of them. So I could sincerely, with my hand on my heart, say, people thought of comics just as for kids.
A close-up, real good shot of up to, find what art is, but I think comic book art is, whereas this strikes me as something, essentially, it's a copy of a comic book panel that comics really are.
Film 95. Alone on the set of Judge Dredd, in which
democracy is
Dredd was the comic strip that I'd grown up with. He didn't have any superpowers, he didn't fly, he didn't have...
The scale of this movie
achieved something that hasn't been seen before. A very believable city. The vehicles, the guns are, you know, they're monsters. The architectural...
This is our ABC robot. Rico is our main villain. We're very proud of him.
I'll also be previewing some of the other films coming. The 28th, Sylvester Stallone pops up as Judge Dredd, Rough Justice. Bizarre moment from Tank Girl.
In the middle of his... Come on, you can! Let's do it! We do it!
Hello, I'm Karen Keating, and they've been making a futuristic, action-packed, spectacular Judge Dredd. Well, let me introduce you to Sylvester Stallone. Early years were hard. When he made Rocky, he was 29 and a half years. Rambo, Demolition Man, more movies he hopes will be blockbuster. Shepherd and just putting the finishing touches to Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
It was also, like, when it was a comic strip, a very violent thing. Have you...
Effects, and it's coming at you. It piggybacks on the last great special effects film. Whatever has come before it, this is...
That you do from film to film?
Well, I believe there is competition all the time.
They all know the truth.
That accompanied the Kersplat television series Black Book. I missed one, or whether they were at some very early... Got Dan Day there. And then we've got Judge Dredd, did that Dylan Dredd as a cover. But of course, it's been scanned in by some fan somewhere, so here it is in the book. Then we have the horror section. That from his Revolver. Revolver number 2, digitally here. See? On to the 3rd episode. And but luckily he's already on YouTube, so the probably most famous Edward Hopper pick. Revolver 3, Milligan and McCarthy artist, which was privatised. Armageddon, which may be, if they were, 1991, 1990. The instantly recognisable, bizarre, the original page out of the comic, an inch up. There's the very first big spark there that they used. 2008 bits are all clickable as well, so you can go straight to them if you like. And it was in the very first Judge Dredd magazine in Rogan Gosh. So there's that panel there. That's good. Big had 3 bits, Simon Bisley, there it is, picture. Now that little clip took a bit more fine. I recognised it and fairly quickly found it there. The actual colour one, there it is. If not Dredd's most famous enemy. Driving there in Prog 149. As far as see all the references, strange, weird, bizarre.
Kersplat!
All right, Miss Vortex.
Avenge!
It was clear from the beginning.
Daddy's home!
They're just comic books.
Just comic books. Recognize an intrinsically dynamic narrative art form if it smacked them in the face.
Comics is a medium of self-expression.
That was my priceless collection of Miller Daredevils. Now...
I love...
I told you not to touch my comics.
So, you decided to kill him!
No, we got him. The last human.
Over 7 feet long. Fires rockets and torpedoes.
Don't touch me!
Deep down inside, I'm a shy, sensitive little girl who dislikes bloodshed.
I filed him under D, you see. D for dead.
And oh, how I long for some civilized company. Doing my experiments. May I be of assistance?
Gosh, dogs vomit pig's entrails and a rat.
A rat.
Tiny boisterous minority is spoiling it for the rest of us.
Can we start experimenting now?
I suppose you think I'm crazy.
No, I don't.
And the agony and pain was total and unending.
A little bit of beast never did anyone any harm.
A soul, an intelligence, a morality.
I suppose you've had a couple of really good successes.
Only one. The Skyapode from the desert planet Liba.
Wow, that's amazing.
In the middle of the day, the Skyapode uses its huge foot as an umbrella. Oh, Violet. I've made sheep, I've made Skyapodes, but
Can I just press one of your buttons?
The cellular sample goes into the genetic template drawer here. We have ignition!
Oh no! A giant gingerbread man!
And this. The injection!
Oh no, and you're out of brain fluid.
Keep me mama in a nice cool bath.
Give into it, be an animal.
Violet, what are you doing? Violet! Oh, what's happening? I'm changing again. The end of a simply wizard day. Come on, Ratso, let's get out of here.
Meanwhile, on the 94th floor of a gleaming skyscraper...
Right, name?
The Mardi Gras.
Champion, the most powerful fighter in the universe, the dynamic defender, be able to pulverize a destiny.
Yes.
Right, next. Your secret identity.
This ingenious disguise enables me to blend...
You have exactly 5.2 seconds.
Sorry.
In subsection 3, what must you do if the world is in peril?
It's possible, man.
No. More dynamic.
Shall possess the power of Thor!
My catchphrase, by the Mardi Gras. More powerful than a man-sized tissue.
It's clobbering time!
Most exciting secret symbol of all!
It's a reminder to pick up my dry cleaning at 4 o'clock.
Streets. The building, it's rising into the air.
Sort of alien attack. Yeah, until he runs out. But out here it's waiting.
Into action. The Zorgon technique.
Yeah, you know, the Zorgon technique.
You're like a magnet. An adventure magnet.
Congratulations, Mr. Grubb. Here's your license.
The tormented and the driven.
Little did you know he was knocking on the door of my heart. I think this time...
As only evil can be beautiful.
Am I crazy?
Where would the romantic comic book be without man-loving superheroine?
Alien-loving carrot?
Alien kind of in...
Now that you come to mention it, I wasn't exactly one of the alpha males, but I...
Cold-blooded bastard.
So that's how the dinosaur became extinct.
I always forget. Are there 7 or 8 days in a week?
I'm in pain!
No, darling, don't tear us apart.
Don't you find me attractive, Gully?
Stable and stop the night.
An office in the building, in the street, in the city. Yeah, trouble, spelled W-U-U-M-E-N, spelled G-I-R-L. I knew this tired of slugging my way through the scum and slime of the city. I don't come cheap.
How much?
You, drop something, sugar.
Thanks. It's for my nails.
Sure, sugar. Sugar?
Sure.
I want you to find the rest of my brother.
Okay, Miss Creature. There was something familiar about the broad.
Somebody was tailing the dame. That smelt worse than my socks. Let's take a look at some mugshots, sugar. City was a sewer, a cesspool, a smut-tiled bathroom with hot and cold running crime.
I don't know. I swear to God.
Never knew a person's entrails could be so long.
If we can just find his arms and legs, we might be able to piece this thing together.
Problem is, nothing irrational or uncanny or rum or strange happens anymore.
Say, nice piece.
Too bad you've got a criminal mind.
Hey, lover boy.
You caused my husband's death, now I'm going to cause yours.
The eye roams the world.
Searing sun is high in the sky now.
A quiet job in a peaceful town.
Here's your star, Sheriff.
But with a cracker at my whip and a gun at my hips, way down.
I'd heard that Zelda...
Now let's ride.
Quit rolling those eyes of yours and sit down.
Oh, come on, Sheriff, you're just letting off steam.
Or maybe he just ain't got the guts.
When I'm really cheesed off, I haul out these little babies. They're cannons, one of which can still be seen today and today.
I'll learn you different. Strap on some irons, mister. We're gonna shoot it out.
Don't you know that violence only begets violence? Go.
Is that what you mean?
Nobody can beat me.
It was only a short step to murder. Glad and little whiskey and pretty good speed.
A pretty little thing like you.
What's happened to you, Dwayne?
Hampshire. On rough trails, the coaches pitched and rolled. Desert was a desolate wasteland.
Not we, Carlos. I'm leaving.
But Zelda, come back.
Adios, Carlos.
So that's how it happened.
City of the future! Everyone will have all of everything!
Text home for the terminally groovy. I'm sure.
Welcome to my house of dreams.
This is a nightmare, man! Get me out of here!
The monkeys. They're all dead.
Wisdom, but he that is truly wise knows nothing is everything, so being good for nothing is like unto God. Thank you. That will be £3,500 plus VAT. You should try turning on. Just look at the amazing results.
Wow.
Before, the old Betty, caught up in boring, uptight social games. After, new Betty is uninhibited, an ecstatic flower child. Cruel and dangerous characters who induce them to fall prey to dope.
I shall teach you how to blend into your environment by transforming yourselves into animals.
You the crow? You the coyote?
There's a lot of big money in misery if you've got an agent.
Get down. Shake it, baby. Oh, get down.
I don't feel at all groovy. Sometimes I think I'm going crazy. Do you ever feel that you're losing your grip on reality?
What's real, man? Be cool, man.
There are times when my life is like an empty husk.
Fantasy machines will manufacture any world you ask for in a matter of seconds, secret agent. Blow up the world. Let the music set you free, man. You'll get all your answers, all of them, tomorrow. In her right hand, she will hold a snake, and in her left, a crescent moon. I'll let you in on a secret. The whole universe is completely insane. Tomorrow, or just the end of time.
blood is screaming, starts bashing through adjoining. I ceased to be, and I was...
The animal under control is the essence, the very nub of...
Using the devices of kindness and reason, subjecting him to a severe emotional trauma in his sleep. Vincenzo.
When a feeling of floating in the air came over him.
Let me down!
But as the dream continues, we see how revealing it really is.
Who are you? I am little Vincenzo. Wait a second, what are you doing here?
And now the H-bomb is dropped. Look out! Yeah! These damn things are hard to bust up. Everybody got killed and everything was destroyed.
Face, you don't know doodly squat.
Huh?
I love your big blue eyes. Hey, you skanky sock bones. You trying to mess up my brain?
This is a voyage across the threshold of time. A journey into the rumpus room of the unknown. Follow me, for I am the doorman to the future. Follow me. Follow me.
Carry me now to the realm unreal. The dimension of dreams.
Temporal and spatial dislocation caused by a disruption in the space-time continuum.
I realize I can't hold on, so I take one last breath.
It's over. Vincenzo, I think I figured it out. This is a dream.
I can't be dreaming now.
You're not dreaming. I am.
Could you direct me to the estate of Joshua Grubb?
Welcome. We've been expecting you.
I wonder whatever happened to them.
Eyes without life.
My ancestors. Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, the living mummy.
The unsound mind. Leave my house and all my fortune to my nephew Damien, on the condition he spends one night in my house.
Oh, well, that seems reasonable. I mean, I'm a little tired anyway. You know now...
If my nephew Damien should meet with an accident, my loyal housekeeper, Miss Vortex, will inherit my fortune.
Not late, am I?
Electric blanket definitely needs a new fuse.
Want a hand?
Dracula live!
Prepare to die, Damien.
You have been found guilty of living. The penalty is death.
Oh, yes!